Buenos días, buenas tardes, and buenas noches. Welcome to Business Matters Podcast with Laura Nowlan. And our show is not scripted. We actually speak from the heart and shoot from the hip. So I have my guest here, Dr. T, with me. And so welcome to our show, Dr. T.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely. I want you to share with the audiences, how did you get here to Vegas? Where do you come from? And then what type of doctor are you?
Okay, I was born and raised in Guam. Came out here stateside, as we like to call her, the mainland, to go to medical school because there's no medical school there. My father is a physician and he went to Hawaii's medical school. And he's like, why don't you go to Hawaii? It's where I was from before. I'm like, I think I'm done with the island life for now. Let me try something different. Ended up in Arizona. For my first year, I was there in Arizona. For the other 3 years, I was in Alabama training. Okay. Then I originally came out here to audition for orthopedic surgery. I did a lot of surgical rotations. Came out, I didn't get it, but they told me, like, look, you were really close. I suggest you come out here and do a year to kind of audition again. So I did. While I was doing that, I did a lot more hospital medicine, and my program director at that time kind of talked me out of orthopedic surgery and said, look, why don't you just do internal medicine? So I did, and for the first part of my career, I was a hospitalist, so I only worked at the highest levels of care, really. Then as my kids started being born or coming along, I was like, you know what, I can't do these 12-hour shifts anymore. Yeah. I was doing 7 days a week. I'm like, I need to get out of here. So I started doing clinic. While I was doing clinic, my job, or what I felt my job was to prevent people from going to the hospital. Because unfortunately, I always saw the end result of uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled high blood pressure, when they lead to stroke, when they lead to heart attack. All of these things I saw, and I was trying to prevent that in the community so people would not have to go to the hospital and would not have to experience these kind of things. I'm also board certified in internal medicine.
So how many years have you been here then in Vegas?
I've been here since 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
And then as a doctor, how many years practicing?
As a full practicing doctor, my residency was 3 years, so 2016 till now.
Wow. So it's been some time now.
Yes.
And so I read a little bit about your practice. You're very holistic.
Yes. So I'm very holistic because I'm actually a doctor of osteopathic medicine as opposed to an MD or medical doctor. Now, we both learn the same things when it comes to medicine, except I learn more as far as musculoskeletal manipulation, and we always do more holistic routes because one of the tenets of what we call osteopathy is that the body can heal itself. You just need to give it what it needs to heal itself. So we, ever since the inception of the DOs, we've been away from traditional pharmaceutical medication as much as we can.
That's nice. Are you finding that a lot of our community are diabetics or borderline diabetics?
Yes, unfortunately, there's a lot of people, ever since I got out and I checked their blood work, a lot of pre-diabetes, definitely a lot of diabetes, but definitely more pre-diabetes on the rise. And then I actually started looking deeper. I'm like, well, let me look for insulin resistance. That's the beginning of pre-diabetes and diabetes, as well as every chronic disease we have. And then I started finding that. So I started talking to people and educating them, like, look, diet matters, exercise matters, but of course, for those who are too close to crossing the line to become diabetic, I'm like, look, let's start you on a medication. Let's do it for 3 months. We'll double check it again, because I was always trying to prevent it.
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of my colleagues were like, well, they're pre-diabetic. Just tell them diet and exercise, and when they become diabetic, we'll do something about it. Whereas myself, I totally disagreed with that. I'm like, no, I don't want anyone to ever become diabetic. So I'm gonna step in the way however I can.
Right. And so I know that the way we met is we came across a product.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about the product, and what we'll do is we'll put the link on the video. Okay. So then that way they can click on the link and then they can find out more and see if this is a product that they would like to try.
Okay, so the product itself is a combo pack called Feel Great. It has 2 products in it, one called Unicity, one called Balance. So I'll start with Balance. Balance is a fiber supplement, and it is a mixture of 7 different types of fiber, and it gets so small inside your body that it actually lines the gut and actually prevents the absorption of excess carbohydrates, excess fats, excess sugars. This thing was actually studied by the Cleveland Clinic and went through what's called a double-blind study. And so on my side of the world, double-blind means that they took out all types of bias, so whatever the end result is pretty much gospel, like it's true. Okay, so they found that it reduced cardiovascular incidence in people, it reduced cholesterol, it reduced the A1C, which is the marker for diabetes and pre-diabetes, and it also helped people lose weight.
Yes, I know.
Okay. Now the thing is, the thing with the fiber is, we've been told forever, fiber. Problem is, not all fibers are made the same. Some of them are so large that as soon as you drink it, you feel bloated, you just feel terrible, and people are like, I don't want this anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Or the taste.
Exactly, or the taste. Whereas,
right?
the product itself tastes amazing. The orange tastes like Orange Julius. I don't know if there's any more Orange Julius around, but it does. And my favorite right now is the mixed berry.
I love the berry.
Absolutely, it's delicious. The other product in it is something called Unicity. Now, Unicity is a condensed version of yerba mate, which is a naturally occurring herb used forever in South America. It does have a little bit of caffeine, like not as much as coffee, but it does give you energy, mental focus, mental clarity. And the other thing about it is that through studies, we have shown that the Unicity increases something called GLP-1 by about 67%. So what GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide. It is what's in the famed Ozempic or semaglutide injection, as well as the tirzepatide or Mounjaro. But tirzepatide has two totally different things with it, so that's a different discussion. But what the GLP-1 does is it decreases what we call gastric emptying. So when you eat, it slows it down. It also has benefits for cardiovascular, and this product, besides just increasing it, also inhibits the enzyme that breaks it down, so it lasts longer in your body. So you get the benefits of the injections without it being an actual injection.
Right.
More importantly, you don't get the side effects. Okay. Now here's the other thing about the injection. The injection does not give you energy. The Unicity does.
Okay. And then also the price alone. You pay quite a bit for the injections, and you have to know how to inject yourself. That's kind of scary. Where the other thing is a natural, you're just drinking it.
Yeah. So currently on the market, if you're trying to get the semaglutide or the Ozempic, you're looking at about $800 for the commercial.
Yeah.
They did come out with a savings card, takes it down to about $500 or $600. Still pretty big chunk of change. So yes, as far as the combo pack on a subscription will run you $160. Okay.
A month supply.
A month supply, and there's nothing you have to do. Literally shake it and drink it. And here's the best part about this product. Well, two best parts about this product. We don't ask people to change anything, because everyone's like, well, if you take this, you have to diet and eat only these many calories. You have to exercise 3 times a week, or else it's not going to work. We don't say any of that. All we say is, please take the product. Like, what about my diet? Eat whatever you normally do. And the reason for that is because it will, again, block the absorption of all the excess stuff. So you're going to be losing weight no matter what. Also with the GLP-1, again, making you cognitively feel better. And again, it will make you start shying away from foods that your body does not like or does not want. Same way the injections do, but again, without the side effects or anything like that. And to cap it all off, we offer a 90-day money-back guarantee for this. As long as you take the product for half the time and you don't see a difference, get your whole 3 months back.
Right, that's amazing. And I know that you were also, you had stated that the blood work. Can we talk a little bit about blood work?
Yes.
What do you recommend on blood work on this?
So for the blood work, I usually recommend that if you see your provider, get your, what we call the standard panel. So it's something called a complete blood count, takes a look at every single blood cell in your body. A complete metabolic panel, because that looks at your kidneys and your liver. The A1C, the hemoglobin A1C, because that's the screen for diabetes and pre-diabetes, as well as the way that we monitor diabetes, as well as a lipid panel or a cholesterol panel. Those are the 4 key that you would need to do. So myself, I actually check this on everybody, and that's how I can tell. Because if I can see the cholesterol's being off, I already know I'm going to see insulin resistance or pre-diabetes, without a doubt.
And then, so then the recommendation is to test yourself, get your blood work done prior to starting, right? And then test again in 90 days. And if you don't see any change in that blood work, then definitely ask for your money back because it's not working, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always recommend you check it before taking the product, and then again at 3 months afterwards. And the thing is, you're gonna see a difference.
Yes.
I mean, so have people return this product, yes, but it is a small percentage. And really and truly, it's, I don't know if they did blood work or they're like, oh, I just don't feel better. I was like, but we're trying to prove to you that it does work.
Right. So it's very important that you get that blood work in order for you to get that guarantee, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I started using the product, and I'm not a coffee drinker. I have natural energy. And so then I take one in the morning, and that keeps me going. I normally fast. I don't normally have breakfast. By lunchtime, I take a balance, but I'm already full with the balance, right? I take the balance, and then after that, I'll eat 10 to 15 minutes after I've taken the balance, and then I get full very easy. Now, I have tried taking the other one twice, like 2 in a day, but it's too much for me. Like I get too much energy because I already have natural energy.
No, absolutely. There are some people that need to take it twice a day. Some people that, again, like with you, who just have natural energy, one a day is more than enough, and now you have extra.
Yeah, right. And so then I have this extra supply because in all reality, if I'm only paying about the $150 some odd dollars a month, I have actually leftovers.
No, absolutely. It truly is a great product system.
Tell me what type of testing this product has gone through, any type of certifications that it's received, the product itself, and then what countries are using this product already? Okay,
so as far as the product testing, it's been through a lot of actual scientific studies, okay? So we have pamphlets that show multiple layers of scientific studies. That's what really gravitated me towards this product, because there's a lot of natural stuff out there, and a lot of people say, oh, well, this can help you. Until I look into it, then I'm like, yes, you have X, Y, and Z, which is naturally occurring, but it's not in the concentrations that is going to help anybody. This thing has been through the ringer, literally, and we are still doing further studies, like the one I mentioned about the GLP-1. That's one of the new studies that we looked into. As far as the countries that it's used, 60 countries right now have access to this, and it's also, unfortunately, larger everywhere else in the world, not so much here in the United States. India, Korea, Japan, these guys eat it up.
Right.
You know, they use it so much. Here we haven't fully caught on to it yet, but that's also why we're trying to do this, to raise awareness.
No, yes, and the manufacturing plant is actually here in Las Vegas, Nevada, which makes it so awesome, because then you can actually go into the facility itself, take a tour. So when you click on the link and do a little bit of research on the product, if you want to reach out to us, you can call us at 702-902-2448 and ask to speak to Chris Nowlan, and he'll be able to assist you and give you a tour of the facility if you wish, or even just test the product. In closing, doctor, is there anything else that you would like to add?
The only thing I would like to add is just that these products go after something called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance truly is the boogeyman, okay? Because vast majority of Americans have it. Like, put it this way, since I've been out in practice, I can count on less than 2 hands the number of people who I have done blood work on who don't have insulin resistance yet.
That's
and
sad.
I can't stress this more, yet, okay? Insulin resistance leads to what we call pathologic inflammation. That's when people are like, I just feel inflamed. That's part of it. And it also leads to, again, prediabetes, diabetes, high blood pressure, which then leads to strokes, heart attacks, basically all the chronic diseases here in America starts off with insulin resistance, and it starts off years before. The way that I describe it, it's like a steam locomotive. Very slow to start, and you can stop it at any point, But once that thing picks up speed, it's gonna mow you down.
Yeah.
So the earlier the intervention, the better. And also, if you have access to a natural product that has no side effects, and put it this way, in certain countries, because of like their laws, these products are considered food, not supplement, not nutraceutical, not anything but food, because it's all natural.
Have you been able to get anybody off of insulin?
Oh yeah, tons of people, because so that was always my goal anyway, was to get people off of insulin, because I never liked insulin. What I noticed is that any diabetic who was on insulin had a higher chance of gaining weight, difficulty losing weight, because insulin's an anabolic hormone. That's what we're trying to stop. So when I started using these products, absolutely, I pull people off of insulin. That's my first goal. And anything that induces insulin production in the body, those are my first targets to get people off of.
A lot of women suffer with their menstrual cycles where they have, excess bleeding. How is this product, are you seeing now also that it's helping them?
Yes. So what you're referring to is a condition called PCOS, stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. Unfortunately, this thing is very, very common. Also, unfortunately, not all providers know how to screen for it. Okay. And the third one is that when a woman is diagnosed with PCOS, most of the time the medication they get put on is birth control, because it does mess up your hormones. By messing up your hormones, it plays tricks with the cycle. You can sometimes miss it for months at a time, or sometimes you bleed for one day. Sometimes I've heard some women say, like, I've been bleeding for the entire month.
Yes, and that used to be me.
Yeah, and I believe them. So the only medications that have ever been shown and supplements that have been shown to help PCOS was metformin that we use for diabetics, berberine root, which is similar to metformin except it's an all natural supplement. But again, even with that, there's thousands of them on the market. You don't know what's going to help you. And also semaglutide, Ozempic, was shown to help regulate PCOS. So this product does help it in two ways. One, the Unamate. Again, we're talking about the GLP-1, so it's like drinking the Ozempic except without side effects. That alone helps. The balance, because it helps regulate your bowels, it also helps with your gut microbiome, because a couple of the fibers in there actually are the ones that have been shown to feed gut microbiome. So once that happens, your gut becomes better regulated, and that also helps with the hormones. Because people don't think like, gut doesn't affect the hormones. Oh, yes, it does. It absolutely does. So then hormones get regulated, metabolism improves, because at its heart, PCOS is rooted in insulin resistance. The hormonal changes, the menstrual changes, these are all downstream of what the problem is. So this particular product goes after the cause.
I wish I would have found this product years ago, because I had to have a hysterectomy because it was so bad. I mean, I was anemic because it was so horrible. And so if you don't have to go through surgery and you can control it, that's more ideal, because then even after having a hysterectomy, then you have issues later, because now your bladder can even drop because there's nothing there to hold it.
Yep.
So issue after issue. You don't want to have the surgery if you don't have to.
Absolutely, yeah. Surgery, definitely, again, even though I have extensive surgical training, the best surgeons I've ever worked with, they were like, we're going to push this off as long as we possibly can. They try to fix anything else, because even though they're great surgeons, they know what surgery does to the body. It takes a toll.
No. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, reach out to us at 702-902-2448. Ask for Chris Nowlan. And remember, just click on the link below. God bless.